Today I'm going to show you a golf ball spinner that's supposed to make you more accurate. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. This is the Check Go. And I have seen these around before. I have never picked one up. They are an electronic golf ball spinner. You put your golf ball in here and they basically find that perfect balance. They spin it really fast. Now, one of the things that I always thought was a little bit of hooey here is that golf balls aren't perfectly centered. I just figured they're always perfectly balanced. That's how they come from the factory. But it was actually some information by My Spy, and they showed, by cutting open some golf balls, that a lot of golf ball companies have quality control issues. The centers can be off pretty much as this picture right here, which was pretty surprising, some of the big brands. Now, I think most golf ball companies have done a pretty good job of trying to center golf balls, keep their quality control high, and something like this is not actually readily available anymore. And it's kind of funny because now I think it's more relevant than ever, even though when this came out and was more popular maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, this was actually probably more of a bigger issue. So generally, I don't think something like this is really necessary, but I'm kind of curious to try it out, and I'm going to use the oldest golf ball I can find. Now, the other thing I want to throw out here is just a little bit of information, is that Bryson DeChambeau is so fastidious about his golf equipment that he actually floats his golf balls in a saline solution to make sure that they are balanced correctly and perfectly consistent. So that's kind of impressive, and something like this might do a similar thing and make it much easier. Now, the way they do that here is they spin the ball very fast and then they allow you to draw a line by putting your pen through this hole. So to be really honest, the reason I picked this up is I thought I could spin a golf ball and draw a line all the way around for putting alignment, but if it does actually find the perfect center of the golf ball, I'll be really impressed with that too. But then we're gonna put in some of the oldest, lowest quality golf balls I can find, and then we're gonna spin them multiple times to see if the markings that we make on the first attempt to find the optimal equator stays the same on multiple attempts. Let's try it. So let's see what we get in here. It looks like we get a little instruction manual, and then here's the golf ball spinner itself, and it's kind of the size of a coffee mug right here. It actually looks like it comes with a pen, so that's kind of cool. Nice little thinking right there, fits right in here. On the side, I brought my own red Sharpie just to make sure that we can see what we're doing here in all its glory. It's kind of cheap plastic. Looks like the button for turning this on and off right there. And then I think this little green light will kind of blink as it's going through the spinning process. And then when it finds its most stable position, I think it'll stay a solid green. And then we can fit the pen right through this hole as it's spinning. Drawing a perfectly straight line all the way around the golf ball is really useful to me to help align my putts. It also looks like it comes with some batteries. I hope these work because these are probably pretty old. 2 AA batteries. To actually install these, it looks like we have to take off this panel right there. You are going to need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove that to put the batteries in there. So I'm going to do that. Once you get the screw loose here, looks like this comes off. You can see how we can put the batteries in here. One right there, the other like this. All right, cover back in. I wish this were a little easier to release than requiring it to be screwed down, but I get that's how they manufactured it. Now the way this thing works is you can just kind of pull off the top, and then we get this little cup right there, and this is what's going to spin. So if I actually push this button and release it, that's going to stop it. So what you're going to have to do is hold this down until this stops blinking. Now the ball is going to just spin on here, so we're going to cover that up. I did find the oldest golf ball I could find in my inventory. This is a very old Pinnacle. It's called a Hot Shot. I'm actually not sure how old this is. It actually has a little scuff there, so hit it at some point. So I don't know. If there's any golf ball that I have that's not going to be balanced, it's probably going to be this. So we're going to try it out. I'm going to put that right here. I'm just going to push this back on top. And what I actually would say here is that this doesn't screw on or orient in any particular way. So what I think it's doing, and the only thing it can do, is spin like this. So it's going to find the equator like this. So if you put this little cage on top here to make sure that the ball doesn't go flying out, no matter where this is aligned, this hole is going to be on the equator of that golf ball, and so we're going to go ahead and stab the pen in there to mark that optimal equator once we get this thing rolling. But I'm going to show you the whole process right now. It should take about 15 seconds to get this thing spun up and balanced. I think you want this thing steady on a table, so I'm just going to put it right there. I'm going to get my pen ready so that when this little green light stops blinking, I can just stab it. Now the ball did seem a little unbalanced right there. getting up to pretty good speed. All right, looks like the light is steady, so I'm just going to press this in here. And it's funny, this regular Sharpie is not long enough to actually touch the golf ball. I think I'm going to actually have to use the pen they include, so. Okay, so I did go ahead and mark this. I will try to find smaller Sharpies at some point in the future, and I'm going to pull this out here, and I'm going to stop the golf ball. And I want to show you here, we do have a line that goes all the way around, and that's a really good, nice alignment line for putting. Now, this is actually supposed to be the optimal balance line for the golf ball as well, so it should actually roll straightest if you're using this to putt. So it's actually kind of double duty. It's going to help you align the putt, but it's also going to keep the ball in its most balanced plane. Now, one of the things that I'm really curious about is if I put this back like this and this spins it, what this should do, technically, is if this is some sort of magical balance line, it should bring it back here so that the black line is balanced again. So I'm going to purposely align it like this. I'm going to actually go ahead and put the cage back on, and I'm going to hold the button down here, and did jump around there. And I'm going to just see if we can get that black line to end up orienting itself right in the equator again. And I'll tell you what, look at that. You can actually see it. So I'm just going to stop it here. It did return that black line to the middle, so I guess maybe, one, this ball may be unbalanced, and it helped find that balance point again. Well, I'm actually pretty impressed with that. It kind of unbalanced as it was winding down there, but that really did work. I'm just going to try it one more time for giggles here. And this time I'm going to wait till that green light goes solid and just see if that black line returns. Look at that. Wow. I'm actually impressed. I'm actually so impressed with that. I am going to start using this for all my golf balls. One, to mark them, but two, just to give me a little more peace of mind that my balls are perfectly balanced. Hey, I tell you what, I thought this was pretty gimmicky, but it actually seems to work. So I'm actually really impressed with this. I will definitely be using this check and go. And if you want to pick one up for yourself, certainly give yourself the best alignment line possible with the line that goes all the way around the golf ball. It seems to do both. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
If you wanna know about a brand, ask me. I'll check if what's in the bag's nasty. Better if you know what's up than the unhappy. I know what it feels like when you're done cashing. They tried their meal or drive their vehicle. Garbage delivered at your PO. I know you feel yo. You wanna scream, your head hurts on your pillow.
Discover more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Explore deeper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Live better.
Today I'm going to show you a golf ball spinner